Welcome back, everyone, to the fourth ever episode of World of Warcraft, and I think I'm going to call this one Public Service Announcement, PSA for everyone. So, I am a parent, and I have a 6-year old, as you guys may have heard, and I want to make this show kid friendly and have it be fun for kids to watch, but also have it be something that parents can enjoy. Um, Before I get into that, let's figure out what happened at the tail end of the last episode. Let's see, I got this, which looks like a buff, and I put all my buffs in Alt 1 of the Alt keys. Let's see if that works. I don't know where that's going, but I have Deadly Poison here. I guess it's just a buff. It doesn't even get applied on the weapon anymore like it used to. At least I used to see rogues doing that when I used to play. So that's just a buff. This is a ranged attack that rewards a combo point. So let's put that. Where do I put ranged attacks? I think this is where I put my taunts when I'm tanking, so I'll put ranged attacks there. We also, what is this? An adventure guide. So there's suggested content. It tells us what we can do that's appropriate for our level. That looks cool. We can quest in Westfall, which is near the human starting zone. Maybe that will be after we finish this zone. Let's take a look at that again. Warsong Gulch, I love that battleground. There's dungeons. Whoa. So I wonder if dungeons scale now to our low B levels. I am not sure. We also have talents, because we are now level 11. I read a little bit about these 3 rogue talent trees and decided, I read very little, but I decided I wanted to be an outlaw. Kind of like a smuggler. It seems like that's the theme, like a smuggler in Star Wars, The Old Republic. Oh, and our abilities changed. Um, hmm. So our ranged attack is gone. What is this? I have a griffin. I wonder why it put that there. That doesn't belong there. So this is awards 1 combo point. So that's a combo builder. And this is a finisher. Wonder if I got other new abilities. Nope. So my ranged attack is now gone. Oh well. Alright, on to my public service announcement. I will tell you, you will learn a little bit more about me. I used to play a lot of WoW. And it was rather addictive. Parents, please listen to this, because if you're considering or even looking forward to letting your kids play, maybe play with you, that would be pretty nice as long as you are playing with them. But, just like any activity in the real world, it's very important that you spend time with them and monitor what they're doing and, be a parent because you are their parent. I used to be addicted to this game, and I quit cold turkey when my daughter was born, almost 7 years ago. Actually, before she was born. I had pretty much quit by then. And then I quit cold turkey on the day before she was born. The night before she was born. See, let's say one more craft survivor here, and then we'll figure out what So it can be done. I do things cold turkey. I used to smoke also, and I quit that. Have not had any other bad habits, though, that I could cold turkey out of, other than smoking and WoW. But WoW is definitely addictive. parents, be very careful. As with anything, monitor your kids, spend time with them. There are bad things about WoW. A lot of people would say bad things about it. There are good things about it too. It's just like any activity. So, for example, uh, first of all, I went to this website called Common Sense Media. It's where I read reviews from sometimes kids, but mostly other parents who try to monitor what kind of media their kids are exposed to. So I read reviews about WoW from parents, and here's what I found. A lot of people complained that the chat can be nasty. That's true in any online website. So I'm not making excuses for WoW, but that is something that a parent should monitor, in my opinion. It's a parent's responsibility to monitor what their kids are doing. Also, chat can be filtered, and it can be turned off completely. Violence exists, just as you saw just now. I was defeating this ogre, and there's a lot of defeating in this game. But it's very cartoony, and it's, in my opinion, very tame compared to what kids can be exposed to these days. So, and especially what I was exposed to when I was a kid. Typical meme is Bugs Bunny and Wile E. Coyote beating up Yosemite Sam and Roadrunner. Those are very violent cartoons. Even Popeye, I used to watch when I was a kid, would beat up Bluto. But that was another age, another generation. Let's see, we're supposed to get this banner. Yoink! Then run! Run away! Where am I supposed to go? Down this way. Okay, we're going the right way. One wife said that there are suggestive loading screens, sexually suggestive loading screens. But then another parent said, if you think those are suggestive, take your kid in front of a magazine stand and see what they have there. And which is true, you go to Target, you're checking out, or any grocery store, you're checking out at the checkout counter, and just take a look at the magazines that are on the rack. It is nowhere, the loading screens here that first parent was complaining about are no different are actually tamer than some of those magazines. And no different than going to the pool. It's summertime now. I took my kid to the pool. There was and this is a nice neighborhood, but there was a girl there. My wife commented on this. She said, is she really topless right now? There was a girl sunbathing, but she was topless. With her chest down, and then she put her top on afterwards. But point is, WoW is no more sexual than going to the pool. And I'm pretty liberal, I would say. I would like to think that there are worse things to expose your kid to than body parts. Of course, I'm not exposing myself to kids or anything like that, and I'm not showing my kid anything either. But, in Europe, there are more liberal countries, liberal societies, where violence is worse than seeing the female anatomy. I tend to agree with that line of thinking. We have a very strong, I'm going to go into some social commentary. I will stop myself before I get into that. So there are bad things about WoW. There are some good things about WoW. I think it's all a matter of how you parent, or if you have no kids, then it's a matter of how you monitor your own time and be very aware that it is addicting. One parent suggested that if you want to get your kid into WoW, and if your kid is playing WoW, this is a very safe environment, physically safe environment. They're just at home. They're not out getting run over by drunk drivers or being offered drugs or nicotine. Or OMG caffeine! Because my kid doesn't need any more caffeine. Or any caffeine. She doesn't need any more energy. She doesn't get caffeine at all. I have to be very careful what I accidentally say on an online show. So one parent suggested introduce your kid to the starting zones in Burning Crusade. So that's the Draenei and the Blood Elves, because according to this parent, there are very few people leveling up in those zones, so there's limited social interaction, which when you're online, you need to be very careful about. Very few other players. Your kid can quest and receive loot, which is the point of a lot of WoW. And that parent's daughter, she was 9 at the time of that posting. The parent said that the daughter really enjoyed crafting. Leveling up your trade skills. And they even suggested that the kid pick crafting skills and resource gathering skills appropriate for their class. So if you're a paladin, which is a heavy armor, plate armor wearer, then you should suggest mining and blacksmithing. And their kid really enjoyed doing that, gathering the ore and then crafting their own armor and weapons. I also wanted to mention, I read an article some time ago about, my daughter was 5, so it was 2 years ago. There was an article called Why I Let My 5-Year-Old Play Grand Theft Auto. And for those who may not know, Grand Theft Auto is notorious. The company that makes it is notorious, and the game itself is notorious, because it can be very violent. So I read the article, and it specifically talks about Grand Theft Auto 5, which is still a current game as of 2018, as of right now. And I've never played it myself, but I have an idea what it's about. But I did learn something from this article. Apparently, in GTA 5, it's a very open world, and you can do whatever you want. So you can get missions. You can, how do I say this? You can get into an ambulance, for example, in that game world, and then receive missions as if you were an actual paramedic. So the first impression, the clickbait of the title is GTA 5 is very violent. It's about murder and violence, and it's rather graphic. I didn't know that you could play paramedic. I didn't know that you could be a pilot. And this particular parent who wrote this article, his 5-year-old son got into an ambulance because the son wanted to help people, and that's what the son did. And so what I learned from that is it's paramount for the parent to be a parent. It's not the game that's dangerous. WoW isn't dangerous to your kids. It's lack of parenting. It's when you park your kid in front of WoW. When you use WoW as a babysitter, last generation before us, TV was the big threat. And it still is. If you park your kid in front of the TV with no parental supervision, it will be dangerous. And that's anything in life is like that. You would not let your kid loose in the real world by themselves. Interacting with strangers by themselves. So don't do that in WoW.
I got a bad feeling. That's enough gabbing for me today.
I am looking forward to, back before my kid was born, I before I thought about it much, I was looking forward and I joked with my guildmates about I can't wait when I have a kid and they can do all my daily quests for me. You know, the rep grinds, and I don't know, I don't even remember what else. Daily quests are good for gold, I guess. But now I wouldn't want to subject my kid to that. I want to play with her in the game. I want to be present in her life, whether it's offline or online. My gosh, this episode sounds like a big lecture, doesn't it? I'm sorry, guys. That's the parent in me coming out. Dark Scout slain. I think I have to be here somewhere. Can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. Oh, I need to get oh, there we go.
I'm out of range.
Out of range, it's too far away. So I want to stress that from personal experience, WoW can be very addictive. I was heavily addicted to it. And I was what, in my late 20s, early 30s when I really got into this. So be aware. This goes for anyone, you know. Be aware of what your kids are playing. Be aware of how you are spending your time, and I'm being very aware of this, of my gameplay this time around, because I sure don't want to get addicted again. It can be addicting. I think I'm going the right way here. But I also want to heavily suggest the website Common Sense Media. I think it's .org. It's a great site that I go to anytime that a book or a movie or any kind of media is suggested to me. I look it up there. And I don't just go by what they suggest. I actually read what they're talking about and then make my own decision. So my kid's pretty advanced. She's gonna be 7. She's a year ahead, at least, in grade level of every subject
I am honored.
in school. Emotionally, I think she's kind of advanced. So I don't know what I'm saying. I think you guys know what I'm saying. I know. I have lectured enough. Come on, Cormandy. Quiet. Too much lecturing. What do I do with these badges? So next episode, I think I will do a recap of, now that my public service announcement is over. Hopefully. You guys are probably tired of me by now. Please come back for another episode. Next episode, I'll go back and recap the first 3 and skip through this. There's nothing to recap here. Nothing to see here. And I'll probably still be leveling up.
Get closer.
Goodness. Pulled too many.
I'm out of
I'm not sure if being an outlaw is... Oh, there's a pistol shot. Is it a ranged attack? It is a ranged attack, but it only procs. Proc is when it glows like that. It's an ability that is only usable after a random die roll. So it only procs when I'm already in melee range and in combat. What's the point of that? It's not really a ranged attack. Well, I guess in PvP it may be useful. I guess in raiding it can be useful for a little extra damage while you're running out of the fire. Running out of a boss ability. Yeah, next episode we'll recap and pretend that this one never happened. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please join me again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your kids. Overall, take care.